Namaste, Angel. This is going to be my Taurus new moon reading. The Taurus new moon does occur on the 15th at 7:48 a.m. It is at 24 degrees Taurus 36. So my feelings about the moon, it's pretty simple because I've mostly been drawn to the 24-36, and the fact that that is a 69, so that took me to Cancer, and the fact that Venus enters Cancer toward the end of the week this week, May 19th at 9:10 a.m. And what that means in connection to the moon. But even more so than that, I've been drawn to the number 24 in the 24 degrees, and how as a standalone number in numerology, 24 is about family, companionship, partnership, in a way that is sort of with some permanence to it. Right? 2s represent partnership, 4s represent our foundations. So it's like stability. So therefore has some like permanence to it. 24, like 6, the whole number, also about, diplomacy, fairness, security. So I've been really, really focused on that, especially with the way that family showed up in the love reading. In that for some it was, super positive, and for others, maybe not as much. We had some people, what I was able to read and see, some people who are going to be dealing with family members and friends that maybe feel like family, who are well intended, but their advice for you, at least this week, is not good. It's not helpful, and you really should follow your own feelings and heart. I also felt and saw evidence of some family members and close friends that may feel like family that was malicious. These are not people that really want to see you shine or do well. And similar to a girlfriend of mine, Facebook friend of mine in South Africa. She's a designer, bathing suit designer, South Africa. She posted today on Facebook about how, we celebrate celebrities. Beyonce got pregnant. Everybody's, the world is jumping up and down. She's having twins. Everybody's happy. We don't know this woman. That's just an example. But other celebrities, we're so involved in their lives, and we want to share and like and all this. A friend posts about their business, and the post goes, unliked, unshared. There's no support. There's no recognition for somebody that you claim to care about. And I said to her, she's younger than me, Gemini, sort of like a little sister. I said to her, the painful reality is that most people are haters, unfortunately. Most people have suffer from an inability. But, this is what we're working toward, healing the world. So hopefully we won't have to, that won't be the case for, for much longer, and certainly not forever. But others doing well around them is just too close to home, and hits too close to home because it's a reminder, of their really self-perceived inadequacy. Because others may not feel that way about them, but it's about people feeling low about themselves and, at best average. So now I'm average and you're doing well. That makes me angry. And this is the painful reality of the world. So what 24 is about is the opposite of that. It's the anti that. And of course 24 equals 6 equals love. And some would say that 24 on its own equaled love. So I also thought about 24:42, Matthew 24:42 to be exact. But I got drawn back, to the rest of it. So I moved on. I started, working on shuffling my cards and stuff like that. And the first card I came to was a very green card. It was about the spiral dance. The spiral dance, I think is what it was called. And it was card number 29, I believe, in my deck. And I said, oh, this is probably our card. But, you know, I heard like shuffle again, shuffle again. And then I came to another card entitled something about dance. This is the blood dance. And it's card number 42. And so, of course, the 2442 came back to mind. And I said it aloud in my head. And thought that it may be connected not only to the universe, to God, to spirit, but I felt it even more so connected to the divine masculine. And you can see what you feel. Matthew 24:42 is basically, therefore, stay awake. Everybody's woke these days, right? So this is where the scriptures tell us to, once you get woke, stay woke. For you do not know on what day God or your Lord, however you want to read that part. There's over 100 different variations of the Bible, so it's written different ways. But bottom line, you don't know what day he's coming. But know this: the master of his house had known at what time the thief was coming, he would have stayed awake, and he wouldn't have let his house be broken into. Therefore, you must also be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour that you do not expect. The Son of Man, with a capital S and capital M, you know, we know to be a depiction and illustration of Jesus Christ. But perhaps with, you know, a lowercase s and a lowercase m, the Son of Man can absolutely be the divine masculine. And I felt so more about that because, once again, hashtag Creepy Deck, I had shuffled to family. So here's this party of three, or perhaps a trinity. And I shuffled to the trilogy of light. So another party of three, which basically represents us and the divine or the universe as far as I'm concerned. So more so a trinity than a trilogy, but they call it a trilogy on this card. So that's from where we're starting. My feelings of the moon, again, are very simple. That's about what they are: family, stability, newness in these areas. The fact that we also will be, there's other stuff going on in the celestial system. I'll go over a couple of those really quickly. I go over them at length, serious length, in the general reading this week. The first portion, I think I said fast forward to like 44 if you don't want to hear about the celestial system and whatnot. You just want to go straight to the reading. So I talk about all this stuff. This week, in addition to the moon, on May 13th, so tomorrow, Mother's Day, at 8:40 a.m., Mercury enters Taurus. Then again, on May 15th at 7:48 a.m. is the new moon, 24 degrees Taurus 36. May 15th as well, just a few hours later at 11:16 a.m., Uranus enters Taurus. And this was huge, or this one is huge, because Uranus will remain in Taurus for like 8 years. You know, so this is a big transit. May 16th, also this week, 12:55 a.m., Mars enters Aquarius. So Mars, the planet of action, aggression, the masculine planet of love, enters Aquarius. Aquarius, freedom lover, freedom seeking. May 19th, again, at 9:10 a.m., Venus enters Cancer. There's a saying that the only time a Cancer is truly in love is when they have Venus in Cancer. Or the Cancer can truly be in love. Is when they have Venus in Cancer. And lastly, this week on May 20th at 10:47, the Sun enters Gemini. So we have all that other stuff going on. But particularly, I wanted to mention the Uranus and Taurus. And again, you can watch the general reading if you haven't already, or if you did, but you fast forwarded to 44, you might want to listen to at least the Uranus and Taurus portion, because it explains some of what we'll be experiencing over the next 8 years. But basically, it's connected, or the way that I read it and interpreted, it's connected very much to karma as it relates, I think, specifically to things of the earthly. So, for example, if we have been thriving, doing well in a financial sense, a material sense, even love, abundance wise, we've been doing well, and we've kept our karmic bank full and, with positive, good karma, then we'll continue to do well and do even better. We will progress. If we've been doing well, but maybe not been so necessarily so kind to those and that around us, the environment is going to be huge too. Over these next 8 years, getting more and more health conscious about, not just as individuals, but about the environment and Mother Earth itself. So those who have not been so kind, their karmic bank is, in the negative, then you may experience a further turnaround, a downward spiral, as may the markets, stock, currency, and a move is expected more so toward the cryptocurrency. If you have not been doing well in these areas, any of these areas of the earthly, these abundance, but your karmic bank is good, I think in that case, expect a, sudden turn to the positive in that area as well, and then continued growth over the period of the next 8 years. All right, so that said, I'm going to read this as an opening message. And this is from my Journey of Love tarot by Alana Fairchild, Razuli, and Richard Cohen. So there's 3 of them also, another trinity. The heart craves life and the blood responds. In relationship to each other, life happens. The desire and the action, the movement of cycles, drawing in and letting go, rushing to the center and pushing far away to the extremities. It is the cycle of relationship, dancing between self and other, into oneness and into individuality. So it is with human beings in relationship with each other, and with human beings and the divine essence. So that sounds very Trinity-like too. Like, the Trinity, as in the Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. If you've ever seen it illustrated and drawn, they tend to draw on the lines, the sides of the triangle, rather. It usually says something like, am not, or like is not God. And then at the center, it says, is God. And it's sort of like to say, like, any space around these does not equate to God. But when these 3 come together, that's God. It's the oneness that creates the God. And so it sounds like this is what this is saying too. So when it says, so it is as well with human beings in relationship with each other, and with human beings and the divine essence, we come together as one. Sometimes the heart of God feels so close, it's as though our own inner passion is the very blood rushing through it. Then we journey far, bringing our nourishment to where it is needed, to those who are cold and lonely, to the farthest reaches of our own dark self, that we may, if very brave, dare to love completely. Though we can be lonely for the warmth of the center, then craving that feeling of being at home, soon enough we are called back to the core of the divine heart, and the cycle continues. Remember that you are always in this dance of life. You are never apart from the divine. It is just that sometimes in our natural flow, it's easier to feel that divine presence than other times, yet you are always the blood connected to the heart. This oracle brings you confirmation that you are connected to divine source. to all that is. If you're experiencing a phase or feeling of being cut off from yourself, from the body, from another, or from the divine, even from your own feelings, spiritual connection, or intuition, be reassured that this is temporary and part of the cycle of life itself. Soon all connections shall return with even greater warmth and nourishment, welcoming you home again with great love. If you feel you have been journeying in life and fear that you have lost your way, do not trouble yourself, precious soul. You are never far from the divine heart and will always be called home. Love's language speaks like sound of falling leaves, caressing wind to bear aroma sweet. You ask if one can love in measure true, and give emotions weight the scales do. Each tear releases more than words can say, expressing all my heart wants to convey. So I think that tied in perfectly. Our message is about coming together in oneness, or similar to the Trinity, just as I have been seeing as I've been preparing. So let's see what else comes out. Beginning with the dice, starting with email, which could be connected to Uranus, which again enters Taurus this week and remains there for the next 8 years. Also stay in bed. And spend money. And I've been feeling this spend money is similar to the Four of Earth. Not being afraid to spend money on yourself, in nurturing yourself and nurturing others. So not wasteful spending and not hoarding. Spending in a way that is nurturing to yourself and others. And Spirit still says email, as well as romantic dinner and party, but I was also made to look at 29 just now. Yes, these are my real nails. Oh, and I got them, I like to get them done before a moon. And I started to do green. And then I said, you know what? I want to feel grounded. I was feeling that sort of dust you are, to dust you shall return, and wanted to go with earth tones instead. All right, so I'm going to begin with this card of family from the hashtag Creepy Deck, and a spread from the perspective of the universe. Opening from there to dating under a moon. This could be connected to the romantic dinner die that we just saw. Family. Boom, triangle. I'm just threes before I even do anything. Threes, threes, threes going into this reading. So I mentioned yesterday in the love reading that even a party of, even family again can be a party of three that is negative, that is an obstacle in some sense, whether it's they do so maliciously or not. Triangle. And true gem. Again, triangle, I'm being reminded, can also have positive connotations. I just mentioned one. I just talked about the triangle as in the actual Trinity and how it's, if you see it, you can probably Google it. Google the Trinity and then click on images and you'll probably see what I'm talking about. But then I also was made to realize that this gem is also kind of a triangle, right? This diamond. True gem can be connected to, again, this week. Now, my moon readings tend to cover about 2 weeks, but this week, the sun enters Gemini. Also, Venus, who enters Cancer later on in the week, is currently in Gemini, which she rules, along with Mercury. And this is also about worth, okay? So not just about the sign of Gemini, but also about worth and value in relationships. True gem, I'll go one more. Nice. True love. So obviously when these are connected, it's the value, again, in choosing in relationships, choosing which has more value, which means more to me, which is priceless, which do I not ever want to lose. True gem. Six also represents mother. And in this case, mother could certainly be Venus, who, again, ruler of Gemini, but not only Gemini, more specifically and more important for this reading, perhaps, ruler of Taurus, Queen of Earth. That just came to me to tell you too. So now coming to passion, which is about what it looks like, right? The burning love. Overall energy is wallflower, which tends to mean for me that if we get presented with an opportunity to sit it out or dance, like in the song, you know, I hope you dance. It's going to be maybe presented with a choice. Are we going to engage, willfully engage in life around us, or miss an opportunity, basically? As far as the zodiac signs, it tends to represent the signs of Capricorn, Scorpio, and Gemini for me. Those the signs who most might sit it out, you know, are the type of people who want to be at the party, you know, and everybody wants them there too, but then they don't really like people. They want to, you know, or they're withdrawn. They're sort of introverts at the end of the day. So that's that. Divine couple. Recent past. Near future. This is for the next 2 weeks. Until my birthday, June 13th, the next new moon. Nope, not that far out. The full moon first. It's the full moon. I just lost it. Hopefully it'll come back. You know when something's like right there? So, divine couple, recent past, near future, masculine's higher self, blocks to the union, what the feminine can do, what the masculine can do, and here's the outcome. Divine couple, past life. So that karma thing is already coming up here. The recent past, Ice King. This is Aries. This is the recent past of the energy of Aries that we just left. This guy comes through for me very Martian-like all the time. He looks like the Emperor, or how I would imagine the Emperor would look, the Emperor from the Tarot. Emperor in the Tarot represents the planet Mars for me, again, ruler of Aries and Scorpio. So this card can also be attached to that energy of Scorpio. Also, I always get Leo here with this white lion, as well as the air element, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, because it's the Ice King. But it's in this placement of recent past, it's most connected to Aries, and you know the energy that we just left with that. The near future, gifts. This is definitely an increase in spiritual gifts. For some, I feel that it's very literal. So happy birthday to the remainder of the Taurians, because we enter again on the 20th. This week we enter the sun enters Gemini. So happy birthday to you early Geminis, and happy birthday to Taurians. This is in somewhat the near future, very literal for you. Gifts, presents. Somebody getting married too. I just heard. June is a huge month for weddings, actually. May's not so bad itself. The masculine's higher self. True gem. Back. So I already told you what that means. He is focused on the value and worth of himself and his relationships in his life. And think that energy of Taurus, think 24, think stability, partnership, companionship. This is the focus over this period. Blocks to the union. as it relates to the new moon in Taurus. Past love. So maybe some karmic situation or even a past experience in the life of the couple, the relationship of the couple, some sort of hurt or something that caused a rift that is, you know, there's negative emotion attached to that now. There's a need to forgive this. There's a need to, you know, drop our baggage, our pain, our pride, our ego, our fears. All that can be connected to past love. What can the feminine do here? Well, this is very clear. This is the this card represents the divine masculine for me in this deck. So this is to be the feminine's focus. And whatever that means. It's sitting here under past life. So maybe working on some sort of past life issue that you've had with him. Sitting here next to gifts. She possibly can be expectant of a gift from him or giving him a gift soon. It's crossing this energy of Mars. Again, Mars, air signs, Leo, Scorpio. So that can be connected directly to the divine masculine as far as what his zodiac sign is as well. I was getting something else. I lost it. Hopefully that'll come back too. What the masculine can do here, children. For some, we need to be Ice King as in an air sign, and there's some sort of truth that needs to be told about children in a literal sense. In more of a metaphorical sense, this children card, it's another 3, by the way, too, and more Trinity, more oneness. It's about the beginning. It's like coming through sort of like the Empress, which is cute because it's crossing, again, this card that comes through as the Emperor for me. So like new beginnings, very much so that energy of Taurus, Libra, Gemini, again, ruled by Venus. The masculine needs to be willing to allow for the birth of new things and like let the past go. Let what needs to end and let it go and allow for the birth of new things. He needs to take action in that regard too. Some of them. Mars, the planet of action. He needs to actively work on dispensing with some of the stuff that's holding him back. Outcome. Boom. Why do we have to get rid of the old stuff? For the new love. So says the universe. I like that one. Now let's see what the masculine has to say for himself. If he's on par, beginning with Trinity of Light again. An opening to spiritual growth. So this again was connected to the gifts for some of us. For most, it is spiritual growth. For some, again, it's literal and they'll be getting actual gifts. Trilogy of Light. Answered prayer. This is very much like Uranus or the star. And she's got a star here, right over her throat chakra. In the tarot, which is about dreams come true, prayers being answered, wishes being granted. This card also comes through very air sign, very water sign, maybe of the air signs, most specifically Aquarius, and of the water signs, most specifically Scorpio. Answer prayer and enchantment, which is all about healing. I see Venus here. I see Mars here, right? This blue ray, this red ray coming down from her crown chakra all the way, circulating all the way through her body, head to toe, literally. And while she is completely 100% fully vulnerable, nude, here's her breasts, they're exposed. She's unbothered by the fact that she's scarred and, you know, that she's been through it already and willing to take a chance again, still trusting in the universe, still that very strong, unbreakable faith that, you know, not only her eyes closed, her head's tilted back, and it's completely do with me what you will. And that's what we need to get to. That is what helps us to manifest, you know, our dreams come true. Answer prayer and divine guidance. Connected to karma. Here's more moon. indicating the need for surrender in order for our prayers to be answered. Surrender, continued connection to the universe, remembering that, this is infinite, is the infinity symbol here. This guidance, this support is infinite. All we have to do is seek it. Right? Seek it, and then you'll get an answer. Seek it, surrender to it, have faith, believe, and you'll get an answer. Answer prayer. And its reflection. This card is about the need to look back on our lives. Look around at your present. What am I holding on to from the past that I need to drop? What should I have brought with me that maybe I need to manifest again into my life in a new way, so that I can have it to carry with me forward into my present, into my future? What is my future? What are my goals? What are my dreams? Reflection. Overall energy is transmutation and a bunch of fire energy coming out. This energy, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, but more importantly, taking those negative emotions that I mentioned before and turning them all into love, right? 24/6. That's all that really matters. That's all that's real. Love is the only thing that is real. Everything else is, born of some reality. And we don't all share the same reality, and all the time. There's alternate reality too. The only thing that remains constant and real is love. So that's why we want to take all this other, negative energy, darker energies, and transmute them too. On that note, sirens. The divine feminine about herself. The masculine as it relates to the feminine. Himself. And the union. Overall, what the masculine would have the feminine do toward the union over the period of this next 2 weeks. What he himself is willing to. What the universe would have the two to do. And the outcome. Divine feminine. Love. At the end of my spiel about everything being love and that being all that matters. That's what the feminine has to do. That's all we have to do, because that's all that matters. Again. Love. And more of this, of course, fire energy, all this orange, yellow, red, purple. Some of us, if we're going to be doing meditation to get to this point, to release some of that negativity, we may want to focus specifically on solar plexus and sacral chakra. For that, with that yellow, that orange. This is the energy of Archangel Uriel. Archangel Ariel is Uriel would be the yellow. Right? He's a representation of the sun, the yellow. His name means God's light. Right? Ariel is the orange in the sacral chakra. The masculine about the feminine. Miracles. Dreams coming true. Miracles coming true. She's got to believe. He believes. And, for him, she is one. She's a miracle. She's a dream come true. It's about the need for the two to have faith, though, also. Twos don't only equal partnership or mean partnership in numerology. Twos also mean faith. So faith in our foundations, if you want to think of in terms of 2 and 4. Faith in, our stability, our future stability. Masculine about himself. Boom. Sacred union. So more love. And here's that partnership. And why he's seeking for the feminine to have faith in the stability and in the future of the two. Look how close these two beings are. This is coming into as one. 2/3 of the Trinity. And the union as a whole. Boom. Eternal flame. I love the way the masculine is feeling this week or over this period of the 2 weeks. Overall. Boom again is the trilogy of light. So, and it sits here right atop the sacred union, which I just referred to as 2/3 of the Trinity. There we go. What would the masculine have the feminine do toward the union over this period? Release her fear. Let go of the fear. So this is one of those negative emotions that I was talking about. I mentioned fear specifically, right? I said fear, resentment, regret, the inability to forgive. All of these things are holding us back. They're obstacles. They're self-imposed obstacles. This is from what we need to free ourselves. And maybe, again, we can use the energy of Uranus, ruler of Aquarius, all about freedom, right? Not only freedom seeking, freedom loving, but freedom needing. You cannot hold an air sign down, but Aquarius would be one that is really going to like shake you off. You cannot. So this is one of the things we have to also shake this off in order to get there. And what we're going to do with it? Transmute it to love. And when I picked up this transmutation card, what is underneath it, upright as well, but forgiveness. And feminine, what is underneath that, upright, but physical body. I just talked to you about yellow and orange and working on the solar chakra, the solar plexus. So all in here. And the sacral, all down here. Yellow, orange. And also, what behind that upright, but soulmate. Okay, at the end of the day, the culmination is this. And it's here we have birth of a new thing. She is born, right? Sprouting up like Taurus energy, that earth energy, sprouting up from a lotus flower underneath a moon. Here comes this new divine being. This can be a representation of the union itself, of the soulmate connection, of this sacred union. All beginning with releasing this and transmuting it back to love. What's the masculine willing himself to do this week toward the union? Relationship. So, and look how he's chosen cards of the same color here too. Because he knows, and what he's saying by this is in order to really get to this and truly be and remain here, I must heal my relationship with myself if I want relationships with other people to work and to last. To last. And I'm willing to do that because why? True gem. This relationship I value with all that I have. So I'm willing to put this into it. Because this is, right, it's eternal. It's infinite and therefore priceless. So I got to do all I can to maintain it. Protect it. What would the universe have the two to do? Simple enough. And we saw this, right? The gifts. So we've come like full circle here already. But we got more to do though. Spiritual growth. This is on what we're going to be working. And all of these things that we do, every time we let go of one of these negative emotions, fear or anything else, and transmute it to love, that spiritual growth, that helps us to continue to ascend. So all of these actions that we take in the right direction are going to lead to this. We'll be fulfilling the request of the universe in all that we do if we work on this. Outcome. Healing. Healing. And one of the ways that we can get to it, the outcome is healing, but one of the ways we can get to that healing is also shown here. It's the meditation, which I mentioned. I said if you're going to want to meditate, you may want to work on sacral. And here we have, again, more moon behind this woman here, more surrender, more nude body, full surrender, eyes closed, and she's holding something in front of her genitals, right in front of her sacral area. She's holding something. So that takes the focus there too. And it's just, I think it's another reminder. Again, not just the feminine, anybody who wants to work on it. We may want to focus on solar plexus and sacral chakra in doing this meditation. Another reason why we might want to focus on solar plexus is because we're trying to get to, right, what sets our soul afire. Many believe that the soul is located there, right, in the abdomen behind the solar plexus. And that's how we get gut feelings. That's your soul sending you a message. You know, we get butterflies. We get positive indications from our stomach, and we get negative ones. A sinking feeling in your stomach. Don't do that. Don't go there. So this is why we want to heal this area. All right. Wow, so much love over this period. Just growing and growing. Speaking of growing, more earth energy, and beginning with the Queen of Autumn, which again can be Venus herself, ruler of Taurus, in addition to Libra and Gemini. Thoughtful, caring, creative, and ingenious is the Queen of Autumn. You will be given advice that's both practical and creative, and it should be followed precisely. Focus only upon the positive in every situation or person. So no negativity. And balance. By merging various points of view, you can generate an extraordinary new idea, compromise with others, and collaborate to discover a better solution. Balance, or temperance, which is a very strong and powerful energy of healing from the universe, represented by Major Arcana card number 14, represents the sign of Sagittarius, or perhaps another fire sign, fire energy. Getting to this with the positive in every situation or person. Somebody commented on the general reading video earlier, oh, that sucks for you. And at first, I answer my comments. So, I didn't think anything of it. I was going to have a conversation, but I didn't understand what that meant, or what sucks for me. So I just put a question mark. And then I heard like a voice say the same thing to me. Like, no, this is an opportunity for you to count your blessings and to remind everyone else to do the same. So I commented again. I said, I put the question mark because I didn't understand what you meant. But never mind. It's okay. Nothing sucks for me. I live in a fabulous neighborhood, one of the most expensive neighborhoods in the world. Valets bring me my car every morning or every time I leave, and they take it from me when I come back. And I don't have a job, at least not one, a quote unquote real one that, by societal standards or anything. But more important than that, the reason I believe that I've been blessed to live that way is because I was chosen for this journey. And, how very fortunate are we that have been. And then on top of that, not only was I chosen, but to be a leader on it. So as such, I have this life where I receive blessings doing non-traditional work, let's say, working for the universe. This is how I receive my pay. So I took the opportunity to instead count my blessings and to remind, let's not let this, whatever it was going to be, if it was going to be something negative, we avoid that completely and only turn everything into a positive, or focus on the positive, or see the positive and see the good in every situation and person. Open into the Four of Autumn that I was talking about earlier. Be cautious about living a life of extremes and seeing things in black and white terms. Consider, for example, whether you're spending too much versus hoarding your wealth, or giving too much emotionally versus building up walls that keep people out. Queen of Autumn, and it's another 3. So 3 of Winter. Sadness is part of life, but you don't have to endure it alone. You may need a little time to heal, some more of that healing. But once you work your way through the emotions, you'll be stronger than before. Queen of Autumn and the 5 of Autumn. This is the feeling of lack. Focusing upon the negative and worrying about money or your career or relationships, in a negative way, or anything negative, can block your progress. Because your trust and faith are at a low point right now, it's probably not the best time for you to try to start, toward any of these things. A new job or a business or even relationship. You got to pick yourself up like the masculine said he was going to do. I want to improve my relationships with other people, specifically my divine partner. I got to work on my relationship with me first. Queen of Autumn and the 10 of Winter. So that pain that we've been feeling, those of us who've been feeling it, it's coming to an end soon. And that could be why we're feeling the pain, because some difficulties that we've been experiencing, maybe in our relationship stuff, is coming to an end. And that can make you feel different ways, like happy and relieved that it's finally done, but also sad, after maybe a long marriage or years and years at the same job or something. It's the end of a career path, a project, or a relationship, and that brings feelings of mixed joy and sadness, relief and disappointment. Put aside your focus on these changes, and instead just trust that a brighter future awaits. So looking at things on the positive, focusing on the positive of whatever it is. You got fired from your job, there's a silver lining in there too. You, again, broke up with your husband, your wife of, 20 years, there's a silver lining there too. Queen of Autumn. And there's something new maybe for you that's going to make you emotionally happy. The Princess of Summer is sensitive, kind, open-hearted, and inexperienced. Maybe a Pisces in your life, or Cancer, or Scorpio, or somebody likened to those traits or attributes, or making to you an offer of love, or from whom you're, or to whom you're, from you, and an offer of love is going to someone else perhaps too. You can expect to kindle a new romantic relationship or a close platonic friendship. You may suddenly receive an emotional message from someone or be invited to a social event. And maybe the someone will be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Perhaps older than you, if you're a page and they are a queen. Or you're older than them, maybe. You're another 3. It's a positive one, though. It's the 3 of Summer. You have an exciting reason to celebrate, such as an engagement, wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement. Remember to cherish those you have and that which you have, too. Again, counting our blessings is going to be very important over this period of time. Good karma, positive thoughts, positive words over our life. Super, super important right now. 3 of Summer for me can also represent like reconciliation. Not, can be with a partner, romantic partner. Maybe that's about what we're celebratory, but also old friends and things too. People you haven't seen in a while, getting back together, friendships, reconnecting, maybe a family member, reconnecting with them too. 3 of Summer. And after all that light we saw and I spoke about, and Uriel, God's light, and that means the sun. He's talking about the sun when he speaks Uriel's name. Our overall energy is what? The sun. Major Arcana card number 19. Also represents the sign of Sagittarius in the tarot, but for me can, be any of the fire signs, and maybe after Sagittarius, Leo, like in that order, because the actual sun, Earth's star, the sun, rules the sign of Leo. Your plans will work out well, bringing you happiness, prosperity, and success. You'll garner the recognition for your accomplishments that you so richly deserve. And balance, or temperance, major arcana card temperance, number 14, is back, crowning the masculine. By merging various points of view, you can generate an extraordinary new idea, compromise with others, and collaborate to discover a better solution. So like a meeting of the minds, and the universe will help you with that, because again, temperance is a very, very strong healing energy of the universe. Surrounding the masculine, is major arcana card number strength, which represents the sign of Leo again. This is our third instance, speaking of threes. The first card with the white lion, and then just now the sun, and now strength. So Leo coming through this reading very strong too. True strength is displayed through kindness, forgiveness, and compassion. You have tremendous personal power and courage. And in the masculine subconscious, it's the 8 of winter. It's so easy to convince yourself that you're trapped when you really aren't. Trust that God will lift you to new heights and give you a greater sense of self-confidence if you first affirm your freedom. So you have to claim yourself. You have the strength to do it. Claim yourself free of that which you, at least in your mind, have decided is restricting you and holding you back. And I feel that for a lot, it is the inability to compromise or to meet in the minds, or maybe to meet in the physical, to come back and to offer forgiveness or to seek forgiveness from others is what is holding you back. To come clean, to, spill it is what's holding you back. It's time for truth. It's time for truth. The truth will set you free. And again, this is about the energy of Uranus, and which is freedom. Uranus, Aquarius, freedom. Taurus, the earthly, people we love, family, close friends, stability. How do we bring the two of them together? Again, the truth will set you free. Crowning the feminine. The king of winter. If somebody's going to tell the truth, it's him. And we have it mirroring here, this 8. So it may be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius specifically that needs to approach you and spill it, or somebody likened to those traits or attributes. Intelligent, impartial, respected, and unemotional is the king of winter. At this time, it's very important that you communicate clearly, be objective and unemotional, and act as professionally as possible. If you need advice, seek out the most experienced expert that you can find. Feminine is surrounded by the 7 of summer. It's time to stop procrastinating and to make a decision so that you can move forward with a priority. If you need to do more research, then do so, but don't overthink the situation. Instead, listen to your heart. 7 of summer, although it's not a court card, tends to represent the planet Neptune for me, ruler of Pisces. And it's because it's like that it can be that dreamy, foggy even, or maybe fantasizing and not actually coming to anything definitive sort of energy. It's also about options, the 7 of summer, having different choices and possibilities, directions in which we can go. This feminine subconscious, renewal or judgment, major arcana card, judgment, which represents the planet Pluto for me, ruler of Scorpio. It's time to get clarity. Again, the king of winter can give us clarity, and I think it's the divine masculine that needs to take on this energy if he's not a direct air sign and spill something. That's what I'm feeling. It's time to get clarity about your life purpose and to make changes so that you're on the right path. Divinely suited for you. Forgive what has been. You got to let go of that stuff. Again, same message coming to you, feminine. Forgive what has been and do it without judgment. And then fearlessly embrace what's to come. Crowning. Wow, beautiful. It's major arcana card 0, the dreamer or the fool in the traditional tarot. You are starting a new adventure. This is a brand new path we never walked. If we felt like we walked it before, not in this way. It's completely different this time, right? Brand new adventure. Run free and take a leap of faith. Faith coming up again. At the root, it's the 5 of summer. Maybe this is why I was meant to tell you that story. Because the 5 of summer for me is all about being ungrateful, basically, of what we have. Being inappreciative, not counting our blessings. Oh, woe is me. Right? Yeah, sucks for you. Yeah, it does suck for me. Everything sucks. Blah, blah, blah. I'm so sad. I'm so, I don't appreciate what I have. I don't see the positive. Focus upon the fact that God loves you and always has the highest of intentions for you. A positive outlook makes it easier to recover from life's difficulties so that you can move forward, onward and upward, right? We're trying to ascend. We don't need anything bringing us down. The heart of the matter, the 8 of autumn. It's the perfect time to learn all you can by returning to school, taking in a seminar, or conducting research. Do your best work. The law of attraction will bring you prosperity and career advancement or relationship. This is about reaping what we've sown. You're putting in what you're getting out, and vice versa. You're getting out what you put in. Let's see how these energies connect to love, beginning with soulmate. And I shuffled these cards so many times. Soulmate wanted to be the card that we started with, and so it is. Yes, this is your soulmate. An opening to true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. Soulmate. And calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Soulmate. Also children. Your love life is being affected by children. Soulmate, and one more. Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. Soulmate. And honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Honeymoon can be about the honeymoon phase of a relationship too. And it's very 6 of swords, 6 of air for me, that moving into calmer, stiller waters. There's even a boat on the card, you know, like a gondola in Venice, very still water that it's floating through. So it's positive movement forward. But our overall energy is express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Atop temperance and healing. Healing coming to the finances of the masculine. Financial issues are a factor in your life right now. So as I discussed, I've said that this would be a time where they would be improving for those of us that were having difficulty, so long as we were on the right side of karma. Atop strength is children. In this card, in this deck for strength, it's very much attached to forgiveness and compassion. I said I felt like the masculine had, or some of them, of course not the masculine in general, but some of them had some truth to tell specifically about children. I felt that in the first spread. So I think that this, for them, these 2 cards being together is connected to that, and it's going to take forgiveness and compassion on the side of both, from him and with whom he needs to speak about this situation. Atop the 8 of air and the energy of being stuck and trapped, or fear and low self-esteem and lack of confidence, is engagement. Maybe somebody needs to muster up the question. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Or maybe somebody feels stuck in a relationship, perhaps because of children. You know, like people are afraid to leave a relationship. They think that's best for the kids. We got to stay together because of kids, with which I disagree, but to each their own. But that can be what this is too for some. I have to get married, or I have to, you know, commit in some way because of a child. Or I want out, but I feel stuck. I feel committed. because of a child and I guess the money and the financial situation involved there. Crowning the feminine atop the king of winter, the king of swords, is heart-to-heart conversations. And again, like I said, who best to tell the truth or to have a conversation, or the energy, whose energy best to use in having a conversation, but the king of swords. So this is perfect placement. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. And it's mirroring this 8 of swords that has been making me feel like the masculine had something to say. We need to honestly discuss whatever that is. Surrounding the feminine atop the 7 of summer and those options and dreams and fantasies is, this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. So if you're trying to say, is it this guy? Is it this guy? How do I feel about that one? I don't know about that one, but if I can envision myself doing this with this one, but then again, that one was cute. You know, you've already met the one, say the romance angels. And atop judgment, major arcana card judgment, is calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Judgment is, as it relates to relationships, not just romantic ones, but relationships in general, is about like a crossroad, you know, to which we've come, and we're trying to figure out where we go from here. And the romance angels saying that where you go from here is off with your soulmate, or connecting with them at least. You're calling them in right now with your energy. Atop the fool, or the dreamer in this deck, is keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So don't be afraid to take the leap just because something is different about the relationship, or maybe physicality. You know, this is not the type, quote unquote type, I would normally entertain, or vice versa. Atop the 5 of summer and that doubtful, pessimistic energy where we were, you know, unappreciative energy is passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. So instead of being, like the doubtful and pessimistic type, you know, thinking more positively and optimistically, and allowing yourself to become excited and to desire things and to believe that they can actually happen to you. And at the heart of the matter, atop the 8 of earth, and the work we need to put into it, is love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So we need to be on board with the same energy that the masculine had, feminine, as in, like, before I can have the relationship with somebody else that I want, I have to work on me, or I got to make sure I'm working on me first and foremost, and loving myself first, so that I can love other people. And that's the work that we got to put in over the next 2 weeks. In this deck, we already saw the love cards. They're all on the bottom here. So I don't know what we might get. Right, soulmate, sacred union, love. They're all pulled already. Last, I wanted to get some advice from the Ascended Masters, beginning with meditate. We've already seen this energy and the need to meditate. We know that we have to do this. Buddha shows up to concur, surrounded by all this energy, like Taurus-like energy, Taurian-like energy, these leaves, right? All this grass, this brown, like the dirt, the soil. Speaking of that, opening to health and healing with Hilarion. Meditate. The green ray is the ray of healing, the emerald ray. Opening to see the other person's point of view. Very much like that, the temperance says to compromise and collaborate and try to, again, come to this meeting of the minds, considering each other's options, and then we can merge these 2 point of views together in a healthy way. See the other person's point of view, and energy healing, says Merlin. So working on you in order to so that you can then, you know, partner with somebody else. Part of that is also going to involve detaching from drama, says Pallas Athena. When the goddess of war tells you to detach from drama, it's very important. That's how I feel. Energy healing. And, well, okay, I got 2 here. Aww. Retreat into nature, this is the green man. So connecting with nature and meditating to bring forth abundance. And maybe it's, you know, for the most part, the abundance of love. Because I also was made to open to twin flame and Angus. I never give the feminine her card first. So I don't. We'll see what that turns out to be. All right. So, what else do the ascendant masters have to say? To the masculine first: mother, wife, sister, daughter. This can be about family. It can be about your relationship with the feminine. It can be about relationship with you, your own inner feminine. But there's a relationship with a feminine energy in your life that needs to be healed. Masculine. Feminine priorities, says King Solomon. And I think he's most directing us to get to this decision and choice and prioritizing ourself, our needs, and, you know, one being our need for clarity. Masculine. The same way the feminine was guided in the first spread to look toward and focus upon the divine masculine, you are asked to do the same. And with regard to the divine feminine, the blonde female in this deck represents the divine feminine for me because she is not blonde. She's a redhead. And so that's like all the fire and basically like the princess of fire, the queen of fire for me. And that could be more Sagittarius energy, more Leo, even Aries as well too. Feminine friendship. So working on relationships of all types and even friendships that we want to develop to something else. And that is about our foundations, right? We need a solid foundation in order to build a greater relationship. So we start out as friends and the next thing you know, one of us is wearing a ring on the finger. So we want to work on not just a relationship and friendship with the divine masculine, but in general, working on our relationship with ourselves so that we can improve relationships with others. And then even more specifically, romantic ones and, you know, with the divine partner. Masculine, another reminder to call on, seek out this divine guidance. It is always available to you. It will always be available to you. It is infinite. But particularly under the moon, you can use this opportunity with the moon to surrender to what is to come to you, your new beginnings. Allow for the universe's will and not so much yours. Feminine, golden memories. A lot of this fire energy. You are guided to let it burn. Like Usher said, yeah, you're guided to let go of this old stuff in your life. The old relationships, the old circumstances, the fear, the resentment, the regret, right? The sadness that's from the past, the inability to forgive, all the stuff that we discussed all through the reading, and let it burn. Let it be transmuted to love. Let it go because it is holding you back, is what this card means. You cannot take it forward with you into your future. From the animal tarot to the masculine, the high priestess. This is a time to pause and to reflect, not necessarily to take action. Trust in your spiritual gifts as nothing is hidden for your divine sight. So if you need to make a move, what this means is you're receiving that information through maybe your solar plexus, right? Through your gut, you're getting gut feelings, or through your soul, right? You're feeling, your heart is telling you, reminding you about what and whom you are passionate, and you're guided toward those things. And you don't have to tell anybody about that, right? Until it's time. You can decide when and how to use this information that's come to you, you know, through a divine means. And there's 2 moons here. We got, you know, all these reminders that the moon is here to give you extra energy. Here in this moon reading of ours, this Taurus moon reading of ours. On that note, the feminine, pulls the Prince of Autumn. The Prince of Autumn, who is a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. Trustworthy, dedicated, protective, and funny is the Prince of Autumn. It's important to make a detailed plan before starting new endeavors. Once you have that plan in place, then you can take immediate action and get as much accomplished as possible. So the Prince of Autumn's thing is that he always reaches his goal. He's always successful in what it is he's setting out to do. Maybe in part because he makes this plan. But it takes him some time. Maybe because he's making a plan, right? Instead of just running out and handling the situation, he's stopping to make a plan. So, you know, it's like a slow and steady wins the race. But you will be successful in your endeavors. And there's also, again, abundance coming to you, even if it doesn't seem to be coming quickly enough. Also, a physical manifestation of a direct earth sign may also be coming to you. Lastly, masculine, boom. Just my own personal boom, because I've been feeling, as you know, that the masculine has some sort of truth to tell, to get out of his mouth. And the romance angels concur. They're supporting me here. Someone's wearing a false self mask in this relationship. I say it's you. So again, the truth will set you free. And lastly, it's probably truth that the feminine's been waiting for so long. But you know what? It's going to be worth it. Feminine has value. Even if it's hurtful, it is going to be worth it. You're going to look at the positive aspect of it and the positive benefits that it serves you and be better for it. Divine timing is at work in your love life. I hope that you guys enjoy the moon reading, Taurus new moon reading, and find it helpful in your lives. Namaste, angels. Happy Mother's Day.